DooBeeDooBeeDooBeeDoo. Who's standing in front of me?
My name is Bennette Miller. I'm the organizer, founder of the Brooklyn Independent Music Festival.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
And I know how hard it is to start with the idea and make it to really festival. And 3 days. These days are very long. So why did you choose 3 days instead of 1 day to make it easier?
You know, it wasn't really about doing something easy, first of all. And I wanted to represent a significant part of the New York City music scene. It's huge, you know. We have 60 bands, which is actually starting to be representative of something, you know. I think just 20 bands would just be 20 bands. You know, obviously there's thousands of bands in New York City, so it's very difficult. But you know, the goal was to really bring together a bill of really dedicated New York City-based artists. And
so when did you start this project?
I think I started it about 10 or 11 months ago. And it's just an idea, like you said, you know, talking to people. What do you think about this? You know, it's one of those things that, oh yeah, it sounds like a great idea, you know? Sure. And I think, you know, for a lot of people it didn't seem like it was going to turn into anything, because a lot of people have a lot of good ideas, and then that's all that it ever is. It's just a good idea, you know?
So, are you a musician yourself?
I am, yes.
Are you playing?
I am. I'm playing tonight. I played yesterday. I'll be playing tomorrow as well. 3 different bands.
Band?
Yesterday I played with my band, the Dirty Urchins.
Dirty Urchins,
yeah. Today I'm playing with Julia Haltigan, and tomorrow I'm playing with Freddie Stevenson and the Midnight Crisis.
Okay, so you could say the festival is produced by a musician on behalf of musicians.
Exactly. Yeah, that's really what it's about. I mean, from what I can say is that from my perspective, a strong music scene is perhaps one of the most valuable resources that a musician can have, being part of a community, in other words. And that's one of the goals of this, you know, bringing together a lot of musicians. It has a lot to do with trying to create more community. And, you know, the hope is that will end up, you know, creating a more valuable resource for the musicians that are a part of that community.
And what makes your festival different from other festivals in Brooklyn?
Well, for one, our festival is, as far as I know, the only festival of this size that takes place in a single venue. So that allows you to see all these bands come in one place. There are a lot of festivals that take place in like 5 or 10 or 20 different venues, and between, maybe they'll have 3 bands a night at each one, but while you're there, it doesn't necessarily feel like a festival, you know, because you're not seeing band, and you're not getting to hang out with all the musicians, and maybe there's 5-6 shows going on at the same time in different parts of the city. So, and then another thing about it is that this festival is about New York City-based musicians and independent musicians. You know, indie stands for independent. It's not really a style. It's a very eclectic bill. But what we want to do is we wanted to be able to, you know, take artists that are playing in New York on a regular basis, that are very dedicated to this city and this scene, and put them in a bill where people can come out and say, oh, here are some great bands that are playing in New York all the time. It's different from having like one huge headliner band that sells out the whole festival, and everybody else is basically an opening act.
That's right. Being honest,
you know,
many of the bands I don't know.
Well, of course you don't. I mean, most people don't know a lot or any of the bands. The point is that, you know, it's very difficult to navigate the New York City music scene. It's hard to know what to see. It's hard to know if something is going to be quality or not. You know, we went to great pains to bring together really excellent bands for this. And I expect people to not know who they are. But this is an opportunity to say, okay, great, here are 60 bands that are good, that are in New York City, that I can then follow and hopefully, you know, learn a lot about what's happening in the city. So it's about exploration, I think.
I see. And what's now the main music style it shows? Is it indie rock? Is it?
It's pretty diverse, you know.
Alternative.
Well, it's not based on one type of style, you know. I would say that.
Do you have any jazz?
Well, Sarah Rayani, that played earlier today, is a jazz singer. I mean, there are clearly pop and blues and soul elements in her music, Latin as well, you know, which are all elements in jazz. We don't have any jazz in, I think, the traditional sense on the bill, like instrumental, improvisation-based music. But we have a instrumental funk organ trio tomorrow, you know, Mr. Barrington, which is a phenomenal band they're playing. But, you know, the point was not to have one style. You know, we've really gone to pains to have a diverse bill that's going to be interesting to watch, you know. So last night, for example, we had 2 hip-hop groups with like a blues rock band between them, and then like a, I don't know if you call it, like almost like hair pop band. This band Mother Feather played after them, and we had an Afrobeat band like right before that. So I mean, right there you've got, you know, Afrobeat, blues, glam rock, hip hop, all back to back. You know, and they're independent New York City-based musicians. That's the point. They're independent. They're dedicated. They're doing something that we feel people should take note of.
Good. And something else I'm really interested in is the organization. How many people helped you out? How many people are in your staff?
Well, I have.
Paid?
Yes, I can answer those questions. They are paid. They are. There are 4 of them. I have a web designer, a woman who's done PR for the festival, and then 2 assistants. One who's standing right here, Mr. Daniel Haddock here, also a phenomenal guitar player.
Actually, we know each other. We played together at a
wonderful.
thing.
Excellent. So, you know, the largely it's a very small group of people that have really put this on. We've gotten help from other people along the way, but this being the first year, having a very limited budget, you know, it was really about just figuring out exactly what we needed to do and just doing it, trying to be efficient about it, and delegating tasks. You know, I think it would have been easier with more people, but at the same time, I think we did a pretty good job with what we had to work with.
Okay.
And yes, they are compensated. They're paid.
And how did you try your promotion?
Well, it's been an interesting journey promoting this festival.
I think it was tough, wasn't it?
Oh, it's definitely tough.
Because being a little nasty to you, I looked into Village Voice, and there's no ad or even in the listings. So I know Village Voice is very picky.
Right.
So how did
you know, it was interesting.
react to your...
I think a first-year festival doesn't have very much clout, you know, and it's hard to say if it's going to be successful or not. The big publications are, you know, obviously trying to cover tried and true things, you know. So hopefully next year it'll be easier. We got a listing in the New Yorker, we got listed in Time Out, and we've been listed on various blogs and sites across the city. So some people were very receptive, and other people, you know, would not get back to us, which is to be expected, you know. In the end, you know, I think that the most effective marketing has been grassroots marketing, and that's what we sort of focused on. And, you know, ads in various publications, I think, have accounted for little to no people coming through the door. But what's really done it is people being invited by bands, and we're hearing about it through people whose opinions they respect, and things like that. So that's, you know, I think the lion's share of why people are out is because of that. And going forward, I think that's still going to be the most effective way of getting people out.
Okay, so I'm actually, I was really interested because personally I like all the things which really start. I'm not, DooBeeDooBeeDoo is not really interested in established things because other media would cover it.
Right.
So I'm very proud to be maybe one of them.
Yeah.
And I
sure.
hope you keep going.
Thank you.
Don't give up.
Yeah.
And do you think you will do next year again?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that's. I mean, first year I think is the hardest, and you know we've already come like a long way, and I mean I think we've got a lot of momentum right now to continue and make it much better. And we've also got a lot of knowledge now that's going to be valuable in terms of how we approach it going forward. All those things are very important, and that means that we're in a better position now to do it next year than we were a year ago. You know, so.
Okay. So thank you very much for this interview.
Thank you.
And I wish you good luck and fun till tomorrow night.
Thank you so much.
See you next year again.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.